been a long journey to get here, to the remote area of the Christchurch Central Business District, or CCBD. Here we are searching for the endangered and mysterious animal, much feared and revered in folklore the world over, the greater Homometrophilis. And I'm Francis Whipplethorpe, following my passion for these creatures, which I've grown to admire and, yea, even revere. We've been searching for some time now, with only a small stop for a spiced chai latte with pink marshmallows and cinnamon, and using this high-tech, unobtrusive tracking device, we think we've finally found some signs. Look here, found the spoor of the creature. Still fresh, I think. Yes, definitely fresh. I'll have to keep my voice down. Wait a minute. A specimen. A male. Yes, a male. Oh, we are in luck. This is one that we released from captivity 3 years ago. Marvellous. It's great to see that he's still surviving out here in the wild. Let's take a closer look. One of the first morning duties is to mark his territory after a long night, so as to prevent any other wandering males from encroaching upon his patch. With that duty completed, he can now turn his focus to the more pressing urge, finding food. For Homometrophilis, with the gradual reduction of his native habitat, and his sensitive stomach, this is no easy task. Originally a hunter, this unfortunate creature has now been reduced to an opportunistic scavenger, searching out nourishment from the most unsavory sources. Occasionally, he is forced from his territory to forage, a risky and often daunting task for this reclusive creature. With her diet high in refined sugars and trans fatty acids, Homometrophilis is often found to be pale and slightly sweaty after meals. I spoke to Dr. Kerry Post, an animal behaviour researcher specialising in Homometrophilis. Dr. Post, the Homometrophilis that we raised in captivity was released into the wild a few years ago here. What can you tell us about this magnificent species?
Actually, Francis, Homometrophilis appears to have diversified into several subspecies since it has been in this habitat. These include Homometrophilis emotus, Homometrophilis itigechius, Homometrophilis homi, not to be confused with Homometrophilis. They are also incredibly endangered due to some unusual behaviours that do not translate well into their new environment, and their somewhat disappointing success with females. On average, they mate only once a year.
That's a bit stupid, isn't it?
You could call them stupid. You may even call them thick as pig shit. But at the end of the day, they're still hanging on and attempting to adapt. Communication is an interesting facet of their behaviour. From the original wild population, which communicated by a primitive method of vocal transfer via overhead lines, they have moved on to a much more advanced method of communication, which is virtually silent and yet incredibly effective. And then, of course, there is the mating ritual. Fascinating and often brutal, Homometrophilis is a paragon of courtship in the natural world. From the subtle and graceful attempts to attract females through scent and visual cues, which involve long periods of preparation, to the more direct approach, to downright blatant. Are you paying attention?
Yes? Yes.
It's funny, actually. Well, not yet. As I was saying, the most common first approach to attracting females, what we like to call the olfacto-optical method, is not always particularly successful. And so the males are often forced to seek alternative methods to sate their reproductive urges.
And so she goes on and on. But let's get back to our specimen. I sense the male is near. Look, scat. Yes, this way. Wait a minute. What's this? Another male has ventured onto his territory. This could be interesting. This can only end in confrontation.
This male needs to choose his battles more carefully, or else he may face more immediate prospects for extinction.
This certainly is spectacular luck. Rarely do we get to see such interactions as this in the wild. I feel a BAFTA coming on.
Spent from his battle, Homometrophilis releases his victory call, one of the few sounds you will hear from these creatures. As Homometrophilis heads back to his den for the evening, possibly to prepare for an evening of courtship, or for an early night, I can't help but think how fortunate we have been today to find and track this creature through his daily routine.
I'd certainly like to think there is still hope left for Homometrophilis. Sadly, with the increasing climate change issues we're suffering, the squeezed habitat and sugary cereals on children's television advertising, things are looking quite grim. I'm Francis Whipplethorpe, and these are Urban Jungles.